Mm. We got a different color box. What the world? The whole bottom is covered in fries, y'all. There's like a large fry at the bottom of this. That was nice of them. Hot mustard, my favorite. Something that I found interesting. Yay, they put 3 pickles and 2 onions. Oh. Hello, hello. It needs more ketchup. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. I hope it's not the same one. It looks like it. So it's like a little shoebox. It's so adorable. It opens up. It says Crocs. Size on it. Stickers. Oh no, we don't have this one. It looks similar to one of the other ones, but we don't have this one. The thing that would have made these cooler is if they had googly eyes. It's adorable. McDonald's, you finally outdone yourself. Bring back fun kid toys. They've gotten cheap. As prices get more expensive just to eat out, the toys have gotten cheaper. The food has gotten worse. I prefer this meal because it's only $4.26. And they let me get a small coffee with it. Dang it. Alright. Mm. Put that one with the collection. Alright. So half of my is full of fries. So I'm going to work on those. But I'm trying to decide where to start. I guess since Tim Walz is nominee for vice president for the Democratic Party, we can start there. So, for those that don't know, Tim Walz has actually been in politics a very long time. However, there is not a lot of things that we can say that he's done. First of all, he was reelected to the House 5 times before elected governor of Minnesota in 2018 and reelected in 2022. First of all, I want to say that this was during the George Floyd Black Lives Matter time, okay? And it was Tim's job to ensure that the city of Minneapolis did not burn to the ground in Minnesota. Sorry, Where is Minneapolis? Ain't that in Minnesota? Where is Minneapolis? Minnesota. Okay. I was right. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. It's me, not you. Um, so yeah. This was during the George Floyd, where everybody was rioting and burning the city down. Minneapolis went from over 800 officers to less than 400 in a matter of years. Tim failed horribly as governor of Minnesota. Okay, first of all, he's been a horrible governor. Minnesota is about to damn evaporate into the damn earth because of all the issues out there when it comes to defunding the police, and then the Black Lives Matter protesting, and the whole precinct was burned to the ground. Picture this. Y'all know I don't fuck with the cops, but picture the whole sheriff's department being told to run down the street with what they can for their lives as rioters set fire to the precinct and come to attack them. There were cops that were running for their actual lives down the side of the road because Tim let Minneapolis turn into a dumpster fire. I wanted to make sure that was right. I can only imagine what he'll do to the country, judging by what he's done to Minneapolis. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. During the summer of 2020, following the death of George Floyd and ensuing liberal violence and civil unrest in Minneapolis, at least 600 were arrested, including the complete destruction of nearly 100 buildings. This is under Tim Walz, okay? Wait for it. The damage caused by the protests and riots in Minnesota during the summer of 2020 had a significant financial impact on the community. The cost to taxpayers and insurance companies were substantial, with estimates reaching over the $500 million mark. This Minnesota specific figure included damage to approximately 1,500 different properties, making it one of the costliest periods. Sorry, I'm spitting up fries. Costliest periods of unrest in U.S. history, second to only the 92 Los Angeles riot. So, this was one of the most expensive riots and issues that we've seen in our nation's history, and Tim Walz was over it all. The expenses covered a wide range of damage, including property destruction, looting, fires. In addition to the immediate physical damage, there were costs associated with the response efforts, such as law enforcement. All the cops quit. They locked up 4 damn officers that were innocent. All quit. Do you blame them? We currently have officers now who are innocent. No wonder they quit. I would have quit too. I would have been the first one. Follow my lead. We're out this bitch. And it says that also there were costs associated with response efforts such as law enforcement, emergency services, and the National Guard deployments. Hold on to that. Violence began. Governor Tim Walz waited 3 days to call the National Guard in for instance during the riots. Now, mind you, this is at the same damn time that officers are running down the street for their damn lives with whatever they own in the palms of their hands. Tim Walz is sitting in his luxury mansion, dragging his feet to save his fellow brothers. This is who we have in the who wants to be in the White House. I just trying to paint a picture of the type of person that Mr. Walz is. See, sorry. After this began, It took him 3 days. And they're saying that he froze under pressure. By the time the guard was mobilized, the Minneapolis Police Department's 3rd precinct had already been overturned and set ablaze. First of all, I told you guys to go watch the Fall of Minneapolis. Great documentary. One small piece of proof that we have out there. And it talks about how this precinct was burned to the ground. It was looted. They're in there, you know, running for their lives and terrified, and there's nobody coming to save them. Very Asheville, very Maui, very, you know, there's nobody coming to save them. Very Springfield. Now, this is from the state senator, Warren Lemire. He says, quote, "It was obvious to me that he froze under pressure, under the calamity, as people's properties were being burned to the ground. He's a wimp." Rather than confront the violence and civil unrest head on, Governor Walz took a passive approach, resulting in more damage and destruction to the Minneapolis and beyond. Governor Walz downplayed the utility of the National Guard, referring to the Guard as being compromised of 19-year-old cooks and not massively trained troops. Despite the record of civil unrest and violence, much of which was directed at law enforcement during the summer of 2020, Governor Walz and the Democratic Farmer Labor Party supported a bill that sought to create a community-led public safety coordinator that would promote and monitor alternatives to traditional policing models. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm confused. Hold on. Promote and monitor alternatives to traditional policing models. There we go. Critics roughly criticize this effort as an end-around effort to defund the police. I mean, let's see how many. Hold on one second. I think it was like 893 officers, and it got down to 390, but I could be wrong. How many officers were in Minneapolis 2020? So I was right. There was more than 800 sworn officers at the beginning of 2020. City officials say that number is currently 570. However, it got down into the 300s. If you go watch the rise and fall, or the fall of Minneapolis, they talk about this. And that is actually a slight increase in the numbers of officers on the force compared to the end of 23. Tim Walz over here. Now, this is also the Senate. The Minnesota Senate report on the 2020 riots stated Governor Walz had the ability and duty to use force and law enforcement to stop criminal violence, but he did not. He did not. Now, all of this stemmed from George Floyd's death. When George Floyd passed away, the media got hold of it, and it spread like wildfire. And then they say, you know, that these cops did it intentionally and that they used too much force, and it was a big deal. Now to find out that it's all lies, it is. It's all lies. I'm trying to find out more about Tim. Give me one second. So Tim did enlist in the Army National Guard 2 days after he turned 17. His father had served during the Korean War, earned his education degree with a GI Bill. He wanted his son to have the same opportunity. Walz, for years after enlisting in 1981, during his military career, he had posts in Arkansas, Texas, near the Arctic Circle, and Norway. Near the Arctic Circle in Norway, Minnesota, Italy, and elsewhere. He trained in heavy artillery during his service. He worked in disaster response posting following floods and tornadoes and was deployed overseas. He's had more than enough training to not be dragging his feet when we are having emergencies, especially when he's governor. He's had more than enough training. 25 years of the National Guard. You should know how to act. You should be the first one stepping up to fix things. And you think Tim Walz is over here giving a crap about the people of Asheville, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida? You think he cares? I can promise you he does not. So it says, Walz became first active in politics. You better get out. You need to evacuate the premises before I kill ya. I'm going to send you to your maker. Yes, I will. I will send you to your maker. Yes, I will. Get out. Gone now. Gone. You better hike it up the road. Oh my God, why'd you back in? You little son of a... Just stay away from me and you can live. It says he first became active in politics in 2004. This is Tim Walz, when he volunteered for John Kerry's presidential election campaign. No, not John Kerry. Y'all, I ain't heard that damn name since I graduated high school. He was inspired to volunteer. Y'all want to spit up another fry somewhere. He was inspired to volunteer in the presidential election after he took a group of students to George W. Bush's rally in Mankato. He was angered by the security team's questioning of his students' politics after they saw Kerry sticker on a student's. He was appointed the Kerry's campaign coordinator for his county, as well as the district coordinator of Vets for Kerry. So he just fell into politics. So on February 10th of 2005, which was almost an exact year later, right? Yeah, August. No. So in August, he volunteers for Kerry's campaign, John Kerry, of 2004. And then in February, 6 months later approximately, he filed to run for the U.S. House of Representatives from Minnesota's 1st Congressional District. There are no coincidences in life, you guys. None. And I've met House of Representatives. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't even have a running opponent. He had no opponent for the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party, the deal, nomination in 2006 primary election. So what, he ran against us and won? Listen, I don't know how this shit works, but that just sounds a little unfair. What, he wins by default because there was nobody else running? Make it make sense. I find this interesting. He was opposing the war. He was opposition to the Iraqi war. I wonder how he feels about war now that he's lining his pockets with money from them. It's amazing to me to look back on these people's career and see that when they first got in, they really cared. You find little Easter eggs like this, you can see that they actually cared. And then somewhere along the line, they become bought and paid for. And you can see that in the policies that they implement in their behavior when running. I mean, he was a governor and he sucked. He absolutely sucked. But I find it interesting. It says the centerpiece for Walz's campaign was opposition to the Iraqi war, as the war popularity was declining that year. Walz won the election with 53% of the vote. After his victory, blah, 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 blah. He packaged himself as a moderate from day one, built an office centered on constitute service. That's right, y'all. And carved out a niche as a tireless advocate for veterans. Well, Mr. Walz, I got we got about over 200 veterans sitting in Asheville right now, most of which I met, and they are homeless. So why don't you come, since you care about vets so much? They're going to be the last to serve because women and children come first in the shelter. So these men, these 190 men that lost their spot at the VRQ, they're homeless. And they had already been through that once. This program was to get them off the street, address their mental health issues, drug issues, family reunifications. It was a wonderful program, and you don't see programs like that anymore. I know that people will have you believe that they're all over the place, but they're not. I can promise. So it says he was reelected in 2008. Now, this is Tim Walz. He's governor of Minnesota. Minnesota is a shithole now. Sorry. Walz was reelected in 2008, 62% of the vote, becoming the only second non-Republican to win a second full term in the district. He won a third term in 2010 with 49% of the vote in a three-way race against Republican State Representative Randy Demmer, D-E-M-M-R, and independent former diplomat Steve Wilson. He was reelected by comfortable margins in 2012 and 14 and 2016. Walz was narrowly reelected to a sixth term, defeating Republican Jimmy Hagedorn, Hagedorn, who later succeeded Walz as congressman by 0.7 or 2,500 votes. Even as direct overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump in the concurrent presidential election. After that, and his direct trended more Republican. Walz did not seek a seventh term in 2018, instead running for governor. Swearing in beginning of the 110th Congress, Walz became the highest ranking retired enlisted soldier ever to serve in Congress, as well as only the fourth Democratic DFLER to represent his district. So, even though he represents a district that is typically Republican, they had typically voted Republican. They describe Walz's policies positions as ranging from moderate to progressive. This guy, hold on one second. Let's see if I can. I just want y'all to know how horrible this guy is. He's not a good guy. He's not for the people. I have no doubt that he got into politics, ran for governor thinking that he wanted to make change and help a city. But I do believe that he's bought and paid now. It's crazy to see his policy change. Let's see. Tim Walz. What was I looking for? Okay, this is talking about it says in 2023, Tim Walz declared the time for bargaining. After 4 years of divided government, Minnesota voters had handed Democrats control of the state House Senate and for Walz re-election to the governor's position. After the, quote, enormous headwinds and complicated politics of his first term in office, he argued his party had given, quote, a new mandate for action. What came next, the passage and signing of a slew of progressive laws, is now under a microscope, with the Minnesota governor vaulting onto the national stage, Vice President Kamala Harris's newly named running mate. And Walz's journey from teacher to National Guard veteran and football coach to governor, and now potential vice president. This is much about his own personal political views. Don't do me like this, CNN. I don't even like you no ways. Hold on. This is much about his own political evolution as the state and the country that changed around him. Now, he is a very left-leaning, he is ultra-liberal. Hold on one second. From his handling of the protest in the wake of George Floyd's murder by... Oh. See, this is why I can't fuck with you, CNN. This is why I can't fuck with you. From his handling of the protest in the wake of George Floyd's overdose and police officers being arrested, and officer to raising questions about his military service, already fell flat during the governor's 22 re-election bid. So for those that don't know, let me just recap. George Floyd is on camera eating drugs. That is one of the many reasons he died. The leading cause would be overexertion. He had pulmonary... What artery disease did George Floyd have? I just need to state that this case, the George Floyd case, if you guys really want to know the truth about it, I know that we haven't really broke it all down. I want to know the 4 different autopsies, what they all say, and all of that. Leave a comment when I'm done. There you go. Pulmonary. Lord. We can talk about it one day, but I don't really want to get into that. I just want to show how Tim Walz failed to do his job when the city of Minneapolis was burning to the ground. It's really sad that into this, it's sad, in my opinion, that these officers have been marked. This is what I talk about when I say marked. Like I was marked. Even if they were to get out of jail, and you best believe there's people fighting to get them out. But I think one of them got out recently. But yes, it is the pulmonary artery. So let me just try to explain this part. Your arteries, that, it's pumping blood and oxygen through your body, okay? If you smoke cigarettes and eat a poor diet, your arteries can get clogged. You're going to get, actually, let me just tell you what it is, because I don't know what it's called either. What clogs your arteries, and what is the disease that comes with that? So there's like 10 different ones apparently. But coronary artery disease is what he had. There we go. So it's a blockage or near the coronary arteries. Supply blood to the heart, okay? If you don't get that blood to your heart, it can cause all kinds of health problems, particularly heart failure. And then you stack opioid and methamphetamine on top of your overexertion and your artery disease, and well, You just don't make it to jail. I'm not trying to be heartless, but what I am saying is that the whole time it was a bold-faced lie. George Floyd died from overexertion, artery disease, artery disease, drugs. We have actual police video footage of him sitting in the driver's seat before they ever even pulled him out of the damn car, of him swallowing drugs. Matter of fact, you know what was found in his car? More drugs. More counterfeit money. We can do a full talk at 2 and I can break the entire case down for you guys, but I'm here to tell you, we have officers that are sitting in jail for something they did not do. And video surveillance footage proves that. In the video, you can see that Derek's leg is on his shoulders, okay? On his back, not on his throat. Nothing was even done to his throat. His throat was not crushed. There was no broken bones. There was no signs of asphyxiation. None. Quite the opposite. Which when someone dies from that type of asphyxiation, there's bruising, honey. Yeah, there's bruising. Okay? There's bruising. And there was none of that. And you know, it's just crazy how I believe the media. It's crazy how I believe the media. And I was one of the people, and I'm here to tell you that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel horrible about it. You know, it's horrible. He had enough fentanyl and methamphetamine in his system to kill 4 people. And I'm going to leave it at that. And if y'all want a full video on the actual death of George Floyd, I would love to do that for you. Because I actually have extensive knowledge of the case now. I've studied that case inside and out for the past 5 years almost. And the rise and fall, or the fall of Minneapolis, just kind of set it all in stone in my mind. That's like, oh, wow, this is validation. This was what I felt. This is what I thought I knew. And watching the fall of Minneapolis, it confirmed all of my fears about these officers being led to slaughter. They were sacrifices. And I do believe one of them. So this is from CNN. It says George Floyd's heart disease and use of fentanyl were contributing factors to his death. I'm looking for, and it's cardiopulmonary arrest. And there was 4 different autopsies, and there's so much that went in this case, but a lot of it was smoke and mirrors. I was looking to see if there was anything about Tim Walz. So it says, imagine waking up, going to work, doing your job, and then going to prison for the rest of your life because you did your job. All as part of some political movement. So Tim dragged his feet. Tim, that was his area. And he's caused so much damage to Minneapolis. I don't like the guy. So it says an opponent of the Iraq War opposed the Bush administration's plans to send additional 2,100 troops to Iraq in 2007. But he voted in favor of a bill in May of that year that provided nearly $95 billion for the war through September 30th. Walz explained that his vote was to ensure the safety of the American troops, while also saying he would continue to negotiate a process to pull troops from Iraq. During the economic crisis of 2008, Walz repeatedly spoke out against using taxpayer money to bail out financial institutions. In late September, he voted against the $700 billion Troubled Asset Relief Program bill, which purchased troubled assets from these institutions. Walz released a statement after the bill's passage saying, quote, "The bill we voted on today passes the buck when it comes to recouping the losses taxpayers might suffer. I also regret that this bill does not do enough to help average home or provide sufficient oversight of Wall Street." In December of 2008, Walz voted against the bill that offered $14 billion in government loans to bail out the country's largest automobile manufacturer. Remember, this is when, ain't that? No, that I'm thinking of Detroit. Hold on. In June of 2009, he introduced a bipartisan resolution calling on the federal government to, quote, "relinquish its temporary ownership interest in the General Motors Company and the Chrysler Group, LLC, as soon as possible." He said that the government must not be involved in the company's management decisions. I thought Detroit was the car's capital. So it does like they have a lot of car manufacturing in Minnesota. I didn't know that. It's called Alliance for Automotive Innovation. I was trying to figure out where they make cars at. So the National Association of Manufacturers identifies automotives in Minnesota is one of the top 5 sectors for manufacturing job growth, and Minnesota's on that list. My computer's not working. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go back. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what he stands for. In February of 2009, he said that the most important thing to do was to, quote, "ensure a solid base for Americans' economic future is to provide the best education possible for American children." So in February of 2008, Walz endorsed the candidacy of Barack Obama in the 2000 Democratic Party presidential primaries. During the administration, he voted to advance the Affordable Care Act out of the House. Walz was a significant supporter of the Stock Act, which bans congressional insider trading. Obama signed it into law in 2012. Walz also met with, the Dalai Lama and served on a commission monitoring human rights in China. During the 2013 federal government shutdown, Walz chose not to accept congressional pay, instead donating it to hunger relief organizations. Well, at least you did one thing right. In 2016, he voted to condemn the UN Security Council Resolution 2334, which called the building building of Israel settlements in the occupied Palestinian territories, a violation of international law. So in early 2015, he endorsed the candidacy of Hillary Clinton. And in the 2016 Democratic Party presidential primaries, he backed her. So in March of 2017, after Mark Dayton, the incumbent governor, chose not to seek another term, Walz announced he would run for governor. His main opponent in the Democratic primary was originally state representative Erin Murphy, who won the state party endorsement at the party's convention in June of 2018. Shortly thereafter, the state attorney general, Lori Swanson, entered the race late in the campaign. Walz defeated Murphy and Swanson in the August primary election with 41.6%. On November 6, 2018, he was elected governor, defeating the Republican nominees. So later in 2019, President Donald Trump appointed Walz to the bipartisan city of governors. In 2021, President Joe Biden appointed Walz as a co-chairman of the Council of Governors. In 2023, Walz was named the chair of the Democratic Governors Association, a high-profile position that involves support governors in tight races. He stepped down after being selected as Kamala Harris's running mate. Okay, here's some. Now, this is coming from Wikipedia, and I don't trust their opinion half of the time. The only reason I'm doing it now is because I couldn't find nothing else. So this is all that we have. On May 26th of 2020, the day after the murder of George Floyd, Walz and the Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan, demanded justice and called the video of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin kneeling on George Floyd, quote, disturbing. Wait a second. So these people had a part in this? What was the date of George Floyd's death? May 25th. May 26th. So the day after George Floyd's death, the first thing their governor and lieutenant governor does is start ripping into the officers instead of having their officers' backs. And lacking common sense to watch a video and being able to put two and two together to what happened. Tim Walz is part of the reason, in my opinion, that these riots in Minnesota and the destruction of their police force, why it happened. Not only did he drag his feet, but here he is in the media quoted as to saying that the officer Derek restraining Floyd was disturbing. Walz elaborated, quote, the love of humanity. The lack of humanity in this is disturbing. The video is sickening. We will get answers and seek justice. In response to the riot in Minnesota, Walz partially activated the Minnesota National Guard on May 28, exactly 3 days after shit had been burnt to the ground and looted, and people are fearing for their damn lives. Y'all want that? Y'all want to go to war and have your president and assistant vice president dragging their feet on defending you? I can tell you one thing, that'll never happen with Donald Trump in office. He'll nuke them fuckers. Yep, sure will. It says they finally acted fully on May 30th. So he sent a few officers on the 20th, and then 5 days after, he sends more. He fully activated on May 30th. President Trump reacted to Walz's action by saying that he was fully agree with the way Walz handled it, and that the Minnesota National Guard, what they did in Minnesota was phenomenal. So Trump said that he was happy that Tim Walz had activated the National Guard. Trump said that Walz was a, quote, excellent guy. Trump publicly claimed credit for deploying the Minnesota National Guard. Walz's office said Trump had no impact on Walz's deployment of the Guard. So we don't know the true story. Several Republicans criticized Walz's initial response to the widespread protests of Floyd's murder. He later responded to the murder, ordering the Minnesota legislature to reconvene for social sessions on litigation for police reform and accountability. After the police reform failed to pass the first special session in June, a second special session was held in July. On July 21st, the legislature, Lord, passed police reform legislation. The compromise law included a limit ban on police from using chokeholds. It bans warrior training, which dehumanizes people, and includes training for peace officers for dealing with people with autism or mental health crises, and de-escalation training. I have no doubt that those things should have already been taught prior to any kind of restraint. Warrior training, okay? Don't agree with excessive force. I don't agree with them hog-tying people, but I will say, have you ever had to deal with a suspect that is high on crystal meth, wielding a knife, butt naked, trying to choke you? Until you do, I think that we need to let the police do what they're good at, which is their jobs, and restrain these people and get them off the street. The fact still stands that none of this would have occurred if it would have not been in public high, okay, trying to pass counterfeit money, okay? He went into that endeavor with dirty hands, and it ended up costing him his life, and it's unfortunate. But the man was old enough to know better, and he had been told time and time and time and time again. His criminal record speaks for itself. This was not a man that got in trouble like I did, and then turned his life around for 10 years, and then had a bad incident with police officers. No, 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 no. He was actively still in trouble and catching charges. Was George Floyd on probation at the time of his death? I just feel like there was more to it than I'm missing. Look at how they have it written on Wikipedia. This makes me so angry. Listen to this shit. George Floyd, Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. George Perry Floyd Jr. is an African-American man who was murdered by white police officers in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Can you believe this shit? He might have maybe used a counterfeit $20 bill. That's exactly what this says. He might have used a counterfeit $20 bill. Let's distance ourselves from personal responsibility, okay? So Derek Chauvin, and I'm not saying that right, was one of 4 police officers who arrived on the scene and knelt on Floyd's back for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And it says fatally asphyxiating him. Bullshit. So sick of it. I can't wait till we can get all of this fixed. Between 1997 and 2005, he's convicted of 8 crimes. Does that sound like a man that's trying to get his life together? He served 4 years in prison after accepting a plea bargain in 2007 for aggravated robbery and a home invasion. Now, let me tell you something. I have a long history of drug use. I can spot drug addicts from away. Mr. Floyd had a huge problem with drugs. All of his worries were more than likely, in my professional opinion, dealing with the court system and drug use. In my professional opinion, all of his charges were related to crimes to get more drugs. The robberies, in my opinion, stem from him trying to get drug money. Now, I have no way to prove that. but I just know a career criminal and a career drug addict's record looks like, and it looks like his record. He was paroled in 2013. He served as a mentor, blah, 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 blah. In 2014, he moved to the Minneapolis area, residing in the nearby suburb of St. Louis Park. In 2020, he lost both jobs during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, he still had money for drugs. It doesn't seem like he was struggling. When they searched his car, there was tons of pills everywhere. Opiates. That was just what he wasn't able to choke down when he was talking to law enforcement officers as they were trying to coax him out of a car because he had committed a crime. And of course, following his death, all of the wrongful lawsuits came out of the waterworks. I do believe that there was dozens of them. It says there was multiple lawsuits. One of them was by George's family for $27 million. Shaven was convicted on 2 counts of murder and 1 count of manslaughter, and was sentenced to 22.5 years in prison. And let me tell you something. He might not make it. They've already shot him once, to the point he barely lived. They're trying to kill him in jail over a lie because he was doing his job. And y'all know, if anybody should hate him, it's me. And I have disdain for whatever you want to call it, distaste. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And at the end of the day, this man was dealing with a criminal who was breaking the law. And he was just trying to do what he was trained to do. And there's a specific, y'all, I probably should have just done a whole hour special on this because it's very interesting. Hold on one second. What is the police hog to maneuver called? I think it's called Matt or something. So there is what they were trying to do was attach a hobble to him, which is why they kept putting their leg on his back. And it's an adjustable nylon belt known as a hobble. Sometimes have to hog tag people because people won't behave long enough to get in the damn car. When they are spitting at you, clawing at you, cussing you out, screaming that they can't breathe, when they literally have to be breathing in order to get those damn words out, there's only so much you can do. And then on top of that, you just sat there and ate God knows how much methamphetamine, heroin. And you're overexerting yourself. You already have pre-existing medical conditions. This is an example of fucking around and finding out. And I'm not going to be heartless, but who I care about in this scenario is the officers. And this whole situation spiraled out of control because Tim Walz didn't know how to do his damn job as governor. The people of Minneapolis have suffered for years since then. This city has not snapped back. The residents are living in poverty. The people in positions of power are over here rolling in money and taking lavish trips and doing whatever the hell they want to while shitting on the community. Tim Walz made this whole situation, from Black Lives Matter to the rioting to the cops being arrested to Floyd's death. He made all of that situation 10 times worse. 10 times worse. And now he wants to be Vice President of the United States. Do y'all want the entire country to turn into Minneapolis? You want to defund the police so much that there's no officers left to help you case? Because I don't. I'm just saying I don't. I want officers out here policing the streets, making sure that they're readily available if I have to, because of some pervert. It's absolutely crazy how this entire story got spun. And now we have officers in jail, and that's what I was going to look at. One of the officers was released. Since we're already talking about it, I'll finish up. Who were the 4 officers arrested for supposedly killing George Floyd? It was Derek Chauvin, Theo, Jay Alexander, and Thomas Lane. They were all convicted in both state and federal courts on various chargings stemming from Floyd's death. They were also all sued multiple times. Like you can milk a damn turnip. when it's sitting behind bars. So it says a federal grand jury indicted them, and that was in May of 2020. Y'all, and something that really stuck out to me, I don't think people realize how big a man that Floyd was. He was a big man. Big. Very big. It would take 3 or 4 officers just to subdue his ass. Something that's very telling, the police that I remember. I want to go back and watch it, and we'll talk about it. I know I'm like re-triggered, and now I want to talk about it. So maybe one day this week I'm gonna go back and watch The Fall of Minneapolis. There's 2 other documentaries that I have linked to those. I'll get you the names of them so you can go watch it, and then we'll go over it. But it's crazy that they're still in jail, and one of them recently got out. And thank God he did, but his record is ruined. He will never have a career again. Hell, he won't even be able to get a job at McDonald's after this. What officer was released recently from prison for killing George Floyd? Thomas Lane. He was a former Minneapolis police officer released from federal prison in Colorado on August 21st of 24, so just this past month, after serving a 3-year sentence, or month before last, for aiding and abetting manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. And he's on probation in Wisconsin. He held down Floyd's legs while other officers stood by, and was the only officer to express concern about Floyd's inability to breathe. First of all, that's bullshit. For those that don't know, within 30 seconds of the officers arriving to the scene, they had actually already called EMS. So before the tussle even started, EMS was already on the way. For some reason, they were having a hard time with emergency response in Minneapolis. I have no doubt it's because of the defunding that was going on, okay? But they were having it took minutes, longer than minutes, for EMS to get there. By that time, they loaded him up and he had died. But I just want to say that they immediately called for backup for officers, and at the same time, they called for an ambulance. So the fact that they try to spin this a certain way, lies. It's lies. So it looks like Thomas Lane got out. You know, the fact that they try to say that these guys were all white officers, really, it's not true. There were other officers. One of them, the Tao Taiu or whatever, he got 5 years, 9 months, and he is not a white guy. But the media won't tell you that. This is one of the officers that was arrested for killing George Floyd. But what did Wikipedia say? 4 white officers killed George Floyd. So, we'll do a deep dive on this one day because it's very interesting, and this is exactly people get charged with crimes that they did not commit, and then their lives are ruined for forever. Anything like this, I have a huge interest in because of my situation. You know, George didn't deserve to die. He was making really poor decisions and stupid mistakes. No one deserves to die. But his death, and during this time, Tim Walz definitely failed in his duties and taking care of the city of Minneapolis and Minnesota in general. And now he wants to be vice president. I just think that it's very scary, and he's already shown us, you know, who he is and what he's trying to do and where he stands. So it says, in January of 23, Walz signed the Reproductive Options Act, which protects access to reproductive care, including abortion, contraceptive, and fertility treatments in Minnesota. Abortion is legal at all stages of pregnancy in Minnesota. In April 3, he signed the Reproductive Freedom Defense Act, which bans state agencies from enforcing out-of-state subpoenas, arrest warrants, and extradition requests for people who travel to Minnesota for a legal abortion, limited the release of related health records, and cutting funding for crisis pregnancy centers. So, for those that don't understand, Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the few places that you can actually still go and get an abortion. But let me check. Can I get an abortion in Minnesota? And I want to be clear that it is legal at all stages of pregnancy. Let's see what that means. What does abortion is legal at all states? Shit. All states of what? Pregnancy. Jesus Christ. I can't even remember from one tab to next what the hell I'm doing. All stages of preg. I'm pretty sure that's full term. Okay. But that's why we Googling it. Pregnancy. There's what does abortion is legal at all states. You damn it. I done told you. I'm going to go through state by state. I don't see it. So it says all stages, so we're just going to roll with. Does that mean full term, like 6 months pregnant, they can still get a damn abortion? That's horrible. It's a whole baby. Hold on, I have the 23 legislative session, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so these are 3 bills that Tim Walz put into action. The Minnesota statutes, also known as the Protective Reproductive Options Act. So it says that the Minnesota Constitution protects the, quote, fundamental right to reproductive freedom. So it's stating that women can come and get abortions in the state. They passed this. It's section 145.409 in the Minnesota statutes. They also passed the Health and Human Services Bill, repeals Minnesota law required patients seeking abortions to wait 24 hours after receiving a statutory informed consent process, required extensive reporting on by providers, and criminalized abortions under specific circumstances. The last bill, while the PRO Act and Health and Human Services Bill codifies patients' right to reproductive health in Minnesota, the Reproductive Freedom Defense Act protects providers and patients alike from civil and criminal penalties imposed by states other than Minnesota. So it's saying, I'm in North Carolina and I want to go get an abortion, I can go do that, and I'm not going to face any legal charges from my state for doing so. That's crazy. They have full term abortions. Full term, hold on. That's what I needed. What is a full term abortion? Abortions occurring at after 21 weeks. That is a whole child, you guys. So while we have Americans that can't afford rent, that can't afford groceries, that can't afford gas to get to work, to make it paycheck to paycheck, Tim is over here fighting for abortion. I just think that we have things on our home front that we need to be concerned about. I think that he has wasted all of his time in office. He's drug his feet on everything to make a difference. And they say that he is as woke as it comes, honey. Wow. In early 2023, Walz signed a law requiring Minnesota to obtain all of its electricity from wind, solar, and other carbon-free sources by 2040. You know, they'd have to have a lot of lithium to do that as well, right? Phasing out climate warming pollution generated by coal and gas fired plants, in addition to a variety of other measures to preserve and expand peatlands, forests, pollinator habitats, electric vehicle networks, access to home weatherization, green banking, green collar worker apprenticeships. Now, I have no doubt that it would be great to go green in a lot of areas. I'm all on board, but we're just not there yet. We have real life problems at our border. We have terrorists entering the country. I think that should be put on hold. That's all I'm saying. It needs to be on the back burner. We can get to this after we get all of the people of America fed and housed. How about that? Walz implemented California's stricter tailpipe standards for cars and set a goal of 20% electric vehicles as a share of all cars in Minnesota by 2030. Some environmentalists have criticized the state government for lax approach to regulatory capture of the agricultural and iron processing sectors. So it says that he did do something for veterans. Hold on. In 2013, Walz signed a bipartisan $2.6 billion infrastructure spending package that funded numerous union construction jobs focused on repairing roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure. Great. We need stuff like this. Other projects funded included a new fire hall in Dilworth, Minnesota, a water treatment plant in Mankato, Mankato, and a $78 million for the state veterans' homes in Hastings, Minnesota. Good. Soon afterwards, Walz signed into law HF 2887, which provides $9 billion over the long term to transportation projects, including reform to climate impact considerations and transit infrastructure permitting. So it says in May of 24, Walz signed and implemented a bipartisan energy permit reform bill. Some environmentalists criticized him for the fast tracking the expansion of the Line 3 pipeline and overseeing a vigorous response to the indigenous-led Stop Line 3 protest marked by allegations of police brutality. Lord Christ, I'm sorry. What is this? The Line 3 pipeline is an oil pipeline owned by the Canadian multinational Enbridge. Operating since 68, it runs over 1,000 miles from Hardisty, Alberta, Canada to Superior, Wisconsin. Concerns about the safety of the pipeline led Enbridge to reduce its capacity. Over its history, the pipeline has been the source of millions of gallons of oil spills, including blah, 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 one in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. That was the worst oil spill, inland oil spill in U.S. history. In 2014, Enbridge proposed the construction of a new pipeline along a different route in Minnesota, which would increase the volume of oil that can be transported. The replacement pipeline has been completed in Canada, Wisconsin, North Dakota, and Minnesota. Permitting and constructing of the new pipeline has been met with resistance from Native American communities and climate justice groups. And it is operational. I wonder how much money he's made off that. I'm joking. After schools were closed in 2020 due to COVID-19, Walz adopted a cautious stance on reopening them, which aligned closely with the concerns of teachers who were hesitant to return to in-person learning due to the fear of contracting COVID-19. Minnesota schools remain remote longer than the national average during 21 and 2020 school year. Whoa. Between 2017 and 2022, Minnesota's fourth graders' test scores decreased from 10 points above the national average to 4 points above. His whole running campaign, Tim Walz, said that he wanted to make a difference in school-age children's lives. He said that he wanted them to become more educated. What's happening, Tim? What's really going on, Tim? It says in 23, Walz and the DFL-controlled legislature approved increased spending on K-12 and early education at the end of 3 legislative sessions. He signed a bill allocating $2.2 billion in additional funding for K through 12 education, amounting to $400 more per student annually than previous levels. Good. The bill also linked education funding to inflation, addressing a long-standing request from school administrations. He signed a bill that gave all students free. This was the only thing I read about him that I thought was like, he gives all the students free meals, regardless of income. No child should ever be hungry. I'll never understand why it's not covered as part of the education. Do y'all know how much money the North Carolina education lottery gets every year? Billions of dollars from people playing the lottery here, and all of that money is supposed to go to schools. But I'll tell you what, in my opinion, that's the last that's happening with that money. We have teachers in my county that have to come out of pocket to buy pencils. No student should ever be hungry. They need a full stomach to learn. That's proven scientifically. They learn better if they have a full stomach. So it said, Walz advocated for the legalization of recreational cannabis as governor of Minnesota. So he says, quote, "We have an opportunity in Minnesota to replace current failed policy with one that creates tax revenue, job growth, builds opportunities for Minnesotans, protects Minnesota kids, and trusts adults to make personal decisions based on their personal freedoms." In 2022, he proposed the creation of a cannabis management office to develop and implement the regulatory framework for adult use cannabis in Minnesota. On May 30th of 23, he signed into law House File 100 to legalize recreational cannabis in Minnesota, which went into effect on August 1st of 23. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I just want people to know that marijuana is a gateway drug. Medical debt. In June of 2024, Walz signed the Minnesota Debt Fairness Act, amongst other things. The act prevents healthcare providers from denying medically necessary treatment because of outstanding medical debt and prevents medical debt from affecting credit scores. Absolutely. Why is this not, it's crazy how much, it's crazy expensive medical care is. And we all know that ride from A to B did not cost $2,000. They've gotten greedy. And they can charge whatever they want because they know that people still need this. We need laws on the books to prevent medical providers from gouging prices because we know that it happens. It also happens in the pharmaceutical industry. Penicillin naturally happens. And do you know how hard it is to get penicillin sometimes? Like, I read somewhere that if we ever went to war with China, that we would all get sick and die because we wouldn't have any penicillin. Now, I don't know if that we'll do a deep dive one day and figure out how much. I do think that it's upwards of 70% of our penicillin, amoxicillin, those type of antibiotics come from overseas. But yeah, it's just crazy. They're greedy. Let's see what's going on with the Native Americans. In 2019, Walz issued Executive Order 1924, which requires state agencies to create and implement tribal consultation policies to guide their interaction with tribal nations in Minnesota. Is there a bunch of tribes all over Minnesota? I didn't know that. Is there tribes of indigenous people all over Minnesota? Yeah, 11 different tribes. has many indigenous tribes, including 11 federally recognized Indian tribes and reservations in the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. Wow, there's multiple ones, you guys. Look at this. This is interesting to me. I didn't know this. These are all the different tribes and where they're located in Minnesota. So Tim Walz has passed a bunch of legislation in the town for indigenous people. I don't know what it's. Well, so it says in November of 21, he signed the quote government to government relationship with tribal governments bill, which codified the order into state law. In 2022, Walz appointed attorney Tad Johnson to the University of Minnesota Board of Regents, the first Native American appointed to the board since it was established. Oh, we love inclusivity. We don't like it taken overboard and 4-year college degrees being wasted on made up shit. In August of 2023, Walz signed an education bill that included education of indigenous culture heritage for all students. In September, he signed the return of parts of the Upper Sioux Agency State Park land to the Upper Sioux community. In December, Walz became the first Minnesota governor to visit all 11 tribal nations in their state. In 2024, he appointed Melanie Benjamin of the Mille Lacs Band of Ojabe, and Johnny Johnson of the Prairie Island Indian community to the member Minnesota Racing Commission. So, I mean, that's great that he is bringing all of these tribes together and not forgetting the indigenous people who originally belonged to. I think that it's great to implement policies to help these people along the way. We don't want them forgotten about ever. Sorry. The 93rd Minnesota legislator in session from January to May of 23 was the first legislator to be fully Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party controlled since the 88th Minnesota legislator in 2013 to 15. It passed several major reforms to Minnesota law, including requiring paid leave like that, banning non-compete agreements, cannabis legislation and legalization, and environmental issues, tax modifications, codifying abortion rights, universal free school meals, and universal gun background checks. So that's what Tim has done in his career as part of the Democratic Party and the governor of Minneapolis, which has not been that much. And how many years was he in this? A lot. Yeah, from 2019 till now. And actually, why can't I find what I need? When did Tim Walz first become the governor of Minnesota? So it was 2018 and won re-election in 22. So he got in there 2 years before George's death. And he really dropped the ball. And to know, here's the thing. I promise you right now, if there was not 4 innocent officers in jail, he would not be the VP pick. That was his testing moment. That was to see if he bought and paid for. And he was. And they used Floyd's death as a political, I don't know what to call it, opportunity. I mean, it's sad, don't get me wrong. But this is why I tell you guys, don't put yourself in bad situations and bad shit won't happen. So we're going to jump over to this report out of Taylor. Let me find the city because I don't even know. What city was the doctor arrested that had a bedroom in his office? This is wild. So that is Taylor, Michigan. A Taylor police raid of a suspected peel mill doctor's clinic on Telegraph also revealed a secret bedroom in his medical office. Sick. I wonder how many women he dangled a pill in front of, like the golden carrot. His 78-year-old nasty ass. Let's read about this. So, they actually were, the cops ended up at this pill mill because women were coming forward saying that the doctor was a creep. So the Taylor police received a new sexual misconduct allegation, and that led to this doctor's office being raided. This is out of Taylor, Michigan. So let's see. The doctor, who was accused of multiple crimes for years for doodling out painkillers, is now the center of a sexual misconduct investigation against his own patients. On Tuesday, the 78-year-old neurologist was arrested for allegedly overprescribing painkillers to thousands of people at his clinic in Taylor, Michigan. On top of it, he's accused of fraudulently billing insurance for treatments that were needed. What I tell you guys, I said if they'll lie, they'll cheat. If they'll steal, they'll rob. They'll stab you in the back and screw your husband, honey. Yep. So you over here scamming insurance, you're sexually abusing women, you're overprescribing painkillers, and probably using those painkillers to assault women, in my opinion. So one of the investigators said that this is the accumulation of a 4-year investigation by Taylor police. When you start packing the layers, you may find other tentacles to the investigation that you didn't even know were there. Who knows how deep this runs, is what the chief said. John Blair. Who knows how deep this runs? I'm scared. That's what the police chief is saying. Not 24 hours after Chief Blair said that, the department's phones started ringing off the hook with new allegations as former patients are accusing the doctor of sexual misconduct. Some of which may have happened in an eerie bedroom setup at the doctor's clinic that investigators stumbled upon. I'm going to show y'all this. It's me, you guys. We're going to watch this together and see if it'll play. I don't know if I've got this hooked up on my Bluetooth or where it is. Let's see. Okay, maybe not. Okay, it's off. Let me turn this off. Let's see if we can hear it. We gotta be very quiet. I'm about to die. It's hot already.
Sign up for the Fox 2 Detroit Lions newsletter. It's everything Lions, delivered right to your inbox. Just click the link at fox2detroit.com.
Sorry, my computer's disgusting. I need to wipe it. Come on, girlfriend. Spit it out.
As a bombshell. The doctor, already accused of multiple times for years for doling out painkillers, now the center of a sexual misconduct investigation against his own patients.
I'm shocked.
Are you shocked?
Oh no, don't cover his face.
You didn't do anything wrong. That's your message? We were there as a 78-year-old neurologist was arrested for allegedly overprescribing painkillers to thousands of people at his clinic in Taylor. On top of that, he's accused of fraudulently billing insurance for treatments that didn't happen or weren't needed. It's the culmination of a 4-year investigation by Taylor police. When you start peeling back the layers, you may find other tentacles to this investigation that you guys didn't even know.
Yeah, Jessica, that's what I'm afraid of. Who knows how deep this runs.
Not 24 hours after Police Chief John Blair said that, their phones at the PD started ringing. New allegations. Former patient after patient now accusing the doctor of sexual misconduct, some of which might have happened in an eerie bedroom set up at the doc's clinic. Investigators stumbled on during their execution of a search warrant, seen here on body camera footage.
The only thing that I saw personally is there was a bedroom that was set up, which I find a little for a clinic.
Chief Blair says this investigation taking a turn as they continue to field calls from former patients with stories that are
Why does it look so girly
to each other. The doctor is in custody at Taylor Police awaiting charges, and it looks like more charges than originally thought. Also this week, the doctor's 21,000 square foot mansion in Oakland County raided. He was apparently making many millions off his alleged criminal activity. We're told he is cooperating with police. Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Is that not wild? Did y'all see the bedroom? Why is that bedroom set up so girly, first of all? Because that's the first thing that struck out to me is how feminine this space looks. I really just hope that there are no children involved in this. Look at how.
This is not a celebration, but this is.
Why does it look so weird? You see what I'm saying? It looks very feminine. Yeah, he probably did have a wife. You're probably right, Hell's Drifter. That's how these guys are. And their wives know. Their wives know that they're weirdos. They never do anything wrong. And when the ball drops, those women are standing there cussing out victims of crimes that their husband committed and blaming the victims. They're blaming victims. And I'm saying this because I have firsthand experience. And it says, a 78-year-old man from Bloomfield Hill was taken to the city late Tuesday morning during a raid at his clinic on Telegraph Road in Taylor. Taylor police believe the doctor is one of the worst offenders of pill trafficking in Michigan ever. He's accused of falsifying records, writing fake prescriptions, and flooding the streets with opioids and painkillers. The doctor's 21,000 square foot mansion. Can I just say that my house, my $1 million house that I lived in 5-6 years ago, the house was 4,800 square feet, and it was technically 6 bedrooms. 21,000 is 4 times that. That's crazy. That nobody needs a house that big. That is so wasteful unless you got family moving from Cuba trying to escape communism, honey. You don't need a house that big. So his house was raided, and I wonder what kind of evidence they're going to find in his house. People like this that have an obsession with sex and that their brains are wired for perversion, they keep all kinds of stuff, pictures, anything and everything, okay? And if he's creepy enough to have a bed and a full get-up for himself to get laid in his doctor's office, he's probably creepy enough to have recording stuff for years. Now, that's just alleged. That's just my opinion. I'm just telling you how these type of men think. There's definitely evidence that they're going to be able to find at his house, in my opinion. I wonder how many other people might be arrested because of this. They've identified 16 different bank accounts linked to him. Those accounts contain millions of dollars. Here, I'll show you the bedroom again because this is a better picture of it. This is sick. I mean, does it not feminine? Am I tripping, or does this not look like... Hello to Russia? I haven't been to prison since 2009. Okay, let's see. Now it's loud. It's never loud enough. Let's skip. Come on. Here it is. Let's see if I can get a full screen. Might be better at little screen. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's going to be better at little screen. Probably get better. I can get it in the frame better. Ugh. My Wi-Fi is out. Damn it. Come on, man. So let's go back. Got the whole setup, don't he? Come on, pan back around. So creepy. What a weirdo. I know it does happen every live. My Wi-Fi just kicks me off. I think there's like a duration that you be on it, like that you're on it, and then it kicks you off after a certain amount of time. I mean, it would be one thing if he had like a bedroom in this clinic and it was like, it looked like his bedroom. That is weird to me that it's so feminine with ruffles and pink everywhere. And it just, like I said, I just really hope that no children were involved in this. It's just very inappropriate that he has a bedroom in the middle of his clinic. So it seems like there was patients that had actually came forward stating that the doctor was inappropriate towards them. It says there's a television mounted high on the wall across from the bed. There's a plant and some boxes in one of the corners and chairs in the other two, both facing the bed. There are cameras placed above the bed. What did I fucking tell you? There are cameras placed above the bed and pointed to an angle that would show it. Show it, like the bed, what was going on the bed. The sheriff said they don't want to speculate. Oh, God. Not another user using their position of power to assault women. Or who knows? We don't even know if it was women. We don't know. I'm going out on a limb and saying it's women because how feminine this get-up is. This is a very feminine bedroom. The man was 78 years old. I don't know why they're obscuring his face. That is not right. I can promise you right now, if it was me, they would have my ass on the front news of the paper. Why do they protect people like this? Just because he went and did 7 years and it does not make him better than anyone. And matter of fact, judging by what we know, he needs to be under the damn jail. He used that position of power to harm people. And y'all gonna sit up there and blur his face like we owe him any ounce of respect. The man didn't even respect himself. So why do you care to respect him? He should have been walked out with his face, okay? With his face showing on every news report so people know when he makes bond, because you can best believe he's going to bond. He's got more than enough money. When he makes bond, people need to know to beware of him. That want his face out there. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a picture of him. Hell, it's been hard to even find his damn name. I haven't even seen it. Here it is. Dr. Ram S. Garg. I had to go somewhere besides Google to find it. Yes, Dr. Ram S. Garg, a neurologist in Taylor, Michigan, has been busted for trafficking pills. He is accused of falsely prescribing killers and opioids to thousands of people, some of who resell them on the streets, while others become hooked on them and seek out stronger drugs, contributing to the devastating opioid epidemic ravaging the United States that has led to countless overdose deaths and destroyed the lives of millions. I agree. So it says an officer told the WD5 lower in Detroit, quote, prescribing these pills without the legal medical proper reason to prescribing them is not only illegal, but causes huge issues with not only the city and state, the addiction and the overdoses and the deaths that spin off that terrible. So for the past 4 years, they've been watching him, and it says he is accused of running this practice for over 4 years, falsifying records, writing false prescriptions. And of course, his story is he's shot. He didn't do anything wrong. That bedroom says otherwise, buddy. I might believe you if you didn't have a bedroom in your fucking doctor's office. He's out. What in the Jeff Warren is going on here? Damn sanctuary bed in the middle of a church. So he has over 53 years of experience in the medical field. Wow, I wonder how many victims there are. The 76-year-old was educated at the JLN Medical College, graduating in 1970. He has worked for decades as a neurologist testing neurodegenerative disorders, epilepsy, and headaches. You know, sorry, Mr. Ram, but all of your good work is now going to be looked over because of all your work. He runs the Ram S. Garg Neurology Practice in Taylor, which, according to its website, evaluates and treats neurological conditions in pediatric, adult, and geriatric patients. He's also affiliated with medical facilities such as the Beaumont Hospital, Trenton, and Beaumont Hospital, Taylor. Reviews for his work are mixed online. While some with neurological issues praise him highly, others are skeptical. One reviewer was pissed after he told his wife their child needed ADHD medication, aged only 7, when the mother went to his practice for an eye and head injury. Oh, wow. So I'm looking at the review. This is kind of funny. He told my wife, doll of a daughter, she needs ADHD medicine at 7 years of age. Mom was there for her eye and head injury. Why would you say that to my child? You're the reason most Americans have drug problems. Oh, shots fired. Woo, shots fired. They left this in a review. He said, quote, you're the reason most American drug problems, you and your cronies, CRONIES. Does anybody know what that means? I could not believe he said that to my child. Hold on. I cannot believe he said my child should be recommended Adderall or any other poison. We will never go there again. So it sounds like this woman went in with her daughter and her husband, and the doctor said, your daughter needs some Ritalin, and she's only 7 years old. She's a child. And this person is like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, and then he alleges that this doctor is the reason that everybody in town is strung out on drugs. That didn't age well. That did not. Whoa, y'all. Oh my God, these freaking reviews. Why do y'all think that I always run reviews? Because they're the truth, huh? Nobody's going to go out of their way to write some hate, okay? Can't keep his hands to himself. He touches very inappropriately. Shut the front door. Does it more details? These are just screenshots. Whoa. When was that written? November 16th of 23. May of 24. Wow. This is wild. This is like literally crazy. So everybody in Newtown, he's a pervert. A Taylor police raid of a suspected pill mill dog clinic on Telegraph Road revealed a secret bedroom in the medical office. The doctor, who was already accused of multiple crimes for years for dueling out painkillers, is now the center of a sexual misconduct investigation against his own patients. How sick. And to know that he had direct access to children is even scarier. Let's go to Reddit. I want to read what's on Reddit, and then I got to go pee, and I'm going to run. I got a lot to do. I got stuff to finish this afternoon. I got to get this board and all of these. Oh, let me show you. Where they at? There's the pictures. I went and got them. Y'all, it was $50 for this. I'm struggling so bad I can't even put it into words. $50. All of the receipts, money that they owe me from the restaurant. Every single receipt from the bar. They owe me money. All of these. Money that they owe me. From where I worked. I worked tons and tons and tons of receipts from money they owe me. Also have the text messages from my employer who sexually harassed me. when I tell you guys that could have been the demise, like the end of me, because it made me spiral into into drinking, because I didn't know how to handle it. I knew I had bills and I needed to be working, and I stayed and put up with it way longer than I should have. $50, over 44 cents a copy. And they tried to help me by making it cheaper, but they couldn't do it. My card wouldn't take. It was a whole big thing. My CVS card. They were trying to get $10 off of this for me, and they tried, and they couldn't. So it was very expensive. Altogether, I've spent well over $300 trying to get this lawsuit together. And yeah, I'm stressed about it. I really am, because I am. That's why. And I've got an hour drive. So I don't know what I'm going to do. It is what it is. I can't control. I've done more than enough and more than I can. I just hope that the judge gives me the money that I deserve. At the very least, the money that I owed. But also, due to the fact that my truck payment is now behind because they never paid me, that's why I'm asking for multiple types of damages. So we'll see what happens. CVS was easy breezy. Let me show y'all what happened. So CVS, you can order the photos through your phone. You just pick which one you want, put in. The way you can do it is you order your photos. You go through your pictures on your phone, and you can order all of these just like that, like I did. And they have same day pickup. It'll send you a confirmation number to your email. And then they'll send you, when they're done printing them off, they'll contact you again through your email and say, hey, they're ready for pickup. So that's what I did, and it worked super easy. Going into the store is what I used to do. I used to go in, hook my phone cord up, and then I could download it through their system. But for some reason, it was not working at all. It took forever for one picture to download, and I had, as you can see, 100 pictures. So one thing really upsetting for me that I was not able to get is hospital records. I really needed paperwork from when I was diagnosed with CPTSD, but Chapel Hill no longer has those records. So that's my only concern for this case. Now, I don't have to prove that I had CPTSD and that they re-injured my psyche. I don't have to prove that. I think that any judge, magistrate with any ounce of sense can see that I went in there ready to work, and these people like to drove me insane. Between the sexual harassment, what I was witnessing at work every day with people being on drugs and out in front of me, it was a lot. It's a miracle that I stayed clean through that time, and a miracle that I didn't end up killing somebody in my vehicle because I was drinking nonstop just trying to get through my work shift working for these people. It was absolute torture. It's a brothel. It's a restaurant that is a brothel. I thought I was going to bartend and wait tables and work in my community. That's what I was looking for. These people are going to continue to harm people as long as they have businesses in their names, honey. Maybe the judge will make them an example out of them, you know? That's what I'm really praying, is that, because Y'all, no lie, sometimes I don't know who the hell I am anymore. It's wild. I look in the mirror and it's like, who's that girl? La 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 la. It's a new person, whole new person. I can't believe I've lost like 80 pounds. Now I'm trying to put it on. I got too skinny. I got down to like 119, 118, and I've been trying for like hell for 6 months to damn get up to 130. I'm finally there, and now I'm like, okay, I want to be at 40. So like, you know, I just feel like I carry it well. I'm 5 to 5'4", I don't know. I carry my weight well because I'm bottom heavy. Like all of my weight is in my hips. So anyways, cause I'm already ripped as shit. It was an accident. It really was. I just wanted to walk. And I started walking. Started running. Forrest Gump. Then I started running. And I never stopped. So this makes 3 shoes. Hell, by the end of the week, I'm going to have a damn whole 2 or 3 pairs laying around here. I think they're all left feet, though. Is this the same one? No, that one's red. See, this one's red. So it's very different than the other one. Here, I'll show you the ones that I have. So I thought these were the same, and they kind of are, except for this one's white and that one's red. See? They're little keychains. And the little shoe boxes are so adorable. I think this one's my favorite. The classic Mickey D without the, yeah. The classic Mickey D without the, you see them? They're all a little different. I think that one's my favorite. Or actually the white one's kind of like dope. Cute! I need to find some kid to give them to. I want to get a collection and then give them to somebody. And they're Croc brand, which makes it even cuter. Because they actually say Croc on them. The bottom of them. So adorable. Oh my god. Back, yeah, the white one's my favorite. See how it says Croc on the bottom? Croc. They're so cute. McDonald's. This is like a 8 out of 10 when it comes to cuteness, you know? They usually just give you some bullshit stickers nowadays. Oh, that goes in there. This is, they've outdone themselves for once. Little shoe boxes. Aren't they cute? I think they're stinking adorable. But I like tiny things too, you know? It's really amazing. Like those little artists that make figurines that are like the size of rice. A single grain of rice. Like, you know, the talent you gotta have and patience to be able to paint a grain of rice. My patience could never. Y'all. I'd lose my cool within a few seconds of trying to paint it. So those are adorable. We're going to continue to collect them, and then we'll find to give them to. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, this is interesting. I didn't realize how much I knew about George Floyd's death. We definitely need to talk about that at a later time. I think that a lot of people don't even recognize what happened with that. A lot of people don't know the truth. I think a lot of people are still living outside of the loop when already found out that these men were, you know, innocent in all of this. And there are people fighting to get them out, but it's been extremely hard. And one of them was released. It looks like he's on probation. Derek won't get out until damn 2050 something probably. It's just sad. It really is. I mean, to be part of a political movement, and they absolutely were. Their lives were destroyed as part of a political movement. I have no doubt that they didn't do everything perfect that day, but it did not warrant their lives being destroyed like they were. And people have this thinking, oh, they're in jail, they must belong there. I'm sorry to tell you, Karen, 8 to 10% of the prison population is actually innocent. Which means you have hundreds of thousands of innocent people sitting in jail for crimes they did not commit all over this country. And the Innocence Project, they're a great, project when it comes to getting people released. But y'all, that can take decades sometimes. When you're things like life sentences or death row, it can take years to be able to see any kind of change and get people out from being stuck in prison. Guys, and we'll catch up in a little while. I've got to go work on this case. I'm about to run to Dollar Tree. Y'all can come with me. I don't know if it'll work in there, but if I lose you, I'll see you later. I got to go wash my ass finally, eventually. I still haven't vacuumed. Don't. If you want to come vacuum for me, you can. I haven't had time. I've been busy as frick. I don't think I've sat on the entire day other than talking to you guys, but you know what I mean. This is still working though. I mean, I'm dyslexic. I had to cut the Wi-Fi off. All right. I need a card. It puts a strain on my head. It causes me a headache trying to learn too much at once. I mean, ain't it pretty ironic that Minneapolis is the worst impacted city? They've already got their mind years in advance who they're going to pick to put in what party and be doing what. All right, let's see what they got. So I see, can you see me? Okay. I need tape for sure. Maybe something to stick the pictures to the board. My head hurts so bad. Maybe it's a clip. I need to wash my hair. I'm going to do that next. I don't even know how much money I have. I think I have like $6 on my Cash App.
Welcome to electronics.
Did you go all the way down, straight on down? You didn't see any? I don't know then.
How you doing? Good. Where's the pens? I need like markers. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing today? No, you're fine. Y'all are busy. And see if I can.
Anything you looking for in particular?
Yeah, some markers that are really good at writing.
Oh,
Oh, these Sharpies look good.
yeah.
Two Sharpies, and you'll see. Use a timeline. I'll use these to create a timeline on the board of their bankruptcies, default judgments, and all of the bad stuff they've done. We're gonna grab some tape. All right. I think this is it.
good. Call Dave for backup.
Nobody learned shit during COVID, huh?
You want it's Frank was you want it's like
Oh, sorry.
somebody will be right up.
Thank you.
Hey, James, where's the men's race? Right down here. That's where he's at. Can you let him go there? Yeah, just sit to the side. How you doing, sir? I'm always everywhere.
There's a lot going on.
You know me from
And we meet again. Take your time. I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is my home. 5:35.
Sweet.
They won't let you work in my place.
Aisle 7.
They're all the way down there on the left. They're going to be on the left. Yes. Let me get my receipt and I'll show you. Here, can I leave this while I show her? Thank you. I'll just grab this. Thank you. Here. Yeah, it's back here on the left. This is where I come to get mine, so that's the only place I can find them.
I'm talking about the ring.
Yeah, for the men, they're back here.
I think you got it right.
Oh, they're on the right. Usually they're on the left. So here's the men's right here. There's the men's.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
I need a job. All right, we got it. You guys. Was this the one in? Yep. I want to make sure I didn't take hers. And I only had one. Yep. Thank y'all. All right. $5.50 something. Pictures were 50. What else? I think that's all the money I gotta spend besides gas that I don't fucking have. Please don't hit me. Thank you. I kind of got something very important to do tomorrow. Today is not the day to die. Damn it. Oh, shit, falling out everywhere. Oh, it's hotter than damn Hades out here. Okay. I can't wait to wash my hair and my butt. Y'all's comments disappeared. I can't see them, so I don't know. What's being said. Let's see if this even works, because I'm going to be pissed if it's not dark enough. My board is white, so I just need to be dark enough to... It's mighty light, but it's okay. I didn't like the orange or the yellow. Oh, yeah. Pink. And these. These out of the trash bag. labels. So I can label stuff for a magistrate. So she can look at it and see what I'm talking about. Alright. Okay. You're going to park right in front of me. Thank you. Thank you so much, you douche canoosh. Damn, it's hot. So do I have everything I need from this side of town? I think so. I think so. My hometown, there's no Planet Fitness, so I have to commute for a Planet Fitness. But I have to, oh God, hold on. I have to live in my hometown because I'm registered in this city, and it's not as easy once you're homeless to get registered elsewhere. That's what they don't tell you. Everybody's like, oh, well, why do you live there if it's a food desert and why don't you go to a big city? First of all, it's 10 times more dangerous in a big city. Second of all, I like where I live. Third of all, it's not as easy as just registering somewhere else. You have to have a physical address, honey. I ain't got that. Ain't got it. Oh my God, we need to go to the freaking, oh my God, I forgot. I need to go to the post office. Fuck. Maybe I can just call them and ask if I have any mail. Not today. I'll have to call them tomorrow. I mean, surely if I had something, I don't know. Probably not. Nobody does their damn job anymore. Back in the day, yeah, they'd call you and say, hey, we got a piece of your missing mail over here. Not anymore. Not anymore. I remember back in the day, if you went into the negative in your bank account, they would call you and say, hey, just want to let you know, your bank account is just passed over into the red. They don't do that shit no more. Ain't enough damn tellers, I guess. My bank, First Citizen, has progressively gotten worse over the years. I mean, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Y'all, they scammed me on $30 for my gym membership. Y'all know I still ain't got that money back. Cost me $70 this month to have a gym membership because my bank scammed $30, actually $40 off of me. It's just unbelievable. Financial institutions are scam artists, if you didn't know. They absolutely are, and that's why there's multiple million-dollar lawsuits pending against certain institutions. People are sick of it. I've been keeping records for 4 years. They owe me a few $1,000s already. I'm sick of it. I know one thing. My YouTube paycheck sure ain't coming to that damn account. And if it does, not a penny better be touched. That's another thing. Every time I would put money in that account, within a day, it would be gone. And it would be the weirdest thing. I'm like, where is that from? Where is that bill from? Makes no sense. Trying to figure out what I want for dinner. I haven't exactly. What did we eat? We ate something. Oh, we had a nasty kids meal. I really need some food. It's already 4 o'clock and I got to get up early, so I need to start cutting it down now. No more caffeine. Save that for in the morning. Save the rest of that for in the morning. Listen, it's usually good for about 24 hours. Even if it's got milk in it. For some reason, I don't know if the coffee helps it stay good. I don't know. And it's protein that I put in it. So unless it coagulates, I'm going to drink it. Because it's espresso and I'm going to need it at 3 o'clock when I'm getting up. I'm going to wash my ass right now. We're going to go ahead and start getting ready for bed. I'm going to start winding down. I quit smoking marijuana recently. If I win my lawsuit, the first thing I'm doing is getting me a pen. Because my anxiety has been 10 times worse than it's ever been. I don't even know how I'm functioning right now, trying to come off of marijuana, not having the gas I need to get everywhere because everybody owes me money. I wouldn't be even dealing with this if people would just pay me what they owe me. Had a job interview earlier. When I kept inquiring about what the pay was, he kept weaseling his way out of the conversation. Can just say, as I've always said, if it starts out bad, just expect for it to go to shit. If that job starts out rough, there's no clear communication, nobody knows what's going on, it's mayhem, just expect for that job to be like that every day. Every day. I've really been thinking about programs, specifically programs for people who are coming out of prison, who have nowhere to go, who are indigent. You know, a lot of these programs, they don't even have them. They have halfway houses, but that's completely different than what I'm talking about. I want an institution where you come out, we help you find work, we get you enrolled in school, and we get you physically situated in housing for somewhere for long enough for you to finish a degree. And then maybe a month after you finish your degree, once you've got a job, you can do your own thing. But I'm talking about a long-term treatment facility based on education and sobriety. That's what we need. We need these people to get educated so that they can stand on their own 2 feet. A lot of people that are in and out of the prison system are not smart enough to recognize these things, that educational help. There needs to be programs that are better designed, tailored fit to people who are coming out of the prison system. We can help you figure out how to file taxes. We can help you figure out, how to find work and these things. All of the things I wish that I would have when I got out of prison. You would think that probation and parole would do that, but I'm here to tell you that they don't. They don't help you with any of that. Once they let you out of prison, you are on your own. And most people end up reoffending. We can prevent that from happening by giving the people the tools that they need to help themselves. If I would have had information that I have currently, if I would have known the things that I know now, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, there's a good chance that I never would have become a felon. But it's because I didn't grow up in a home with people teaching me. First of all, it absolutely impacts your future, whether or not you have parents that guide you. But also, if I would have been continuing education, I wouldn't be here anyways. I wouldn't be a felon. I was joining the military when I met my abuser. When he initially kidnapped me, I had an appointment to sign my papers for the Army, and he prevented me from doing that. And there's no telling what my life would have been if I would have just joined the military and not listened to a damn 60-year-old man when I was 16, That's subject to change. I don't think I need anything else for my course. I think I have everything I need. I've just got to set it up. Got to get it all set up. I hear music. I forgot my blazer, but it's okay because I have enough shirt that I can wear. I just want to look professional as possible. I don't look like I walked in off the streets. You know, this is a $10,000 court case, so I need to look like the part. I'm gonna grab a yogurt and then I'll put the noise back on. I mean, the thingy-ma-doodle, because they're playing music. That is insane. I want something for in the morning to wake me up, but I don't want to pay $4 for one drink or $8 for a whole pack. Ugh. Things are getting outrageous, you guys. $3 for one drink. That's how it. $4 for some of these. Never mind now. I'm pissed. I don't want nothing. During the summer, if it was not for Gatorade, I would be dead. It kept me alive. Let's do none of those because they're too damn expensive. I need a yogurt. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Over here taking people out. Need a yogurt. Got the little Halloween section set up. I love that. Oh. Little girl talking to me. She's so cute. The little girl saw me and said, "Hey, baby." How adorable. Hey, babe. How are you? I got one yogurt, 2 boiled eggs, a Sub Rosa hummus, sorry, and a Baby Bell. We're gonna put this up since that has cheese and meat in it. It's the same thing. I'm gonna grab 2 of these. They're chocolate croissants for 74 cents. Okay, so dinner was like $10. I got chocolate croissants for tomorrow. They look delicious. They'll be really good. Dipped in like coffee. Round and round you'll turn me, you give love instinctively. Round and round you're turning me. That's what they were playing. Upside down. Boy, you turn me inside out. And round, upside down. I haven't heard that in forever. Alright, let's rock and roll, folks. We gotta go wash our butt. And then we gotta hurry up and get in the bed and sort through all of these screenshots and continue to work. Y'all, I swear, if I got paid for my dreams, then I would be rich. If I got paid for living my dreams, you know what I mean? If I got paid for investing in the... sorry, I thought I lost my receipt. Good to see you. All right. Yeah, but somebody told me, I heard one time, somebody on some podcast, I think it was like on PBR or whatever it's called, Patrick Bet, whatever. He said that, man, what did he say? It was important. Pretty much that pursuing your dreams is a luxury. Pursuing your dreams is a luxury, essentially, is what he was saying. Look at these ugly pink nutcrackers. God, them things are hideous. No, Susan, we don't want to have the party at your house. This is why. Have a good one. Y'all, that little baby back there she says, hey, baby. A little baby looked at me and said, hey, baby. How adorable. She was so cute, too. Oh, little kids, man. They're the best. Where did I park? Oh, shit. I don't even know where I parked. I don't ever know where I parked. So I got boiled eggs to make egg salad sandwich. I've got mayonnaise, mustard, salt, pepper, sugar, everything I need to make my Walz homemade egg salad. It's been a while since I've had an egg salad, Sammy. So that'll be delicious. This chocolate croissant has got, y'all see the chocolate in it? Down at the bottom, it's got like 2 chocolate things in it. It'll be really good with some coffee first thing in the morning. I got vegetables, hummus, yogurt for tonight for dinner. Hummus. I've got apple cider vinegar for the vegetables, like a dressing. And then I've got balsamic glaze for the top of that. I also got a yogurt and boiled eggs to make egg salad. So I got groceries for the night. I need to see if I can even afford a damn $10 worth of gas. I just got to have enough to get there, and then I'll have to figure out what to do after court. Because how it works. And judging by his history, I might end up having to freeze some of his assets before I even get my damn money. Fucking put a lien against all of his fucking businesses. I wish that was possible. I'm gonna tell you one thing though. If you ever go through these issues where you have an employer that does not pay you, fun fact, the EEOC and the Department of Labor don't give a fuck. They're like every other agency out here that don't know how to do their damn jobs. All right. Hold on one second. Michael, thank you so much. We're going to go put that in gas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna cry. Oh, I can't believe my phone's still working. That's rare. Usually the darn thing won't work. Then when I ain't got nothing to talk about, now she wants to work. 273. I got 14 gallons for $40. That's actually good. I mean, I still had almost like, not quite a quarter, but it goes quick, man. It goes so quick. When it's hot on days like today where it's 80 and I'm sitting in the car doing job interviews and for answering emails and having a damn... Hell, I spent 6 hours the other day going over curriculum for school, just looking at classes in surrounding areas to see if I need to transfer, if I'm going to stay at the community college that I'm at, if I'm going to... So they're saying that I have to declare paralegal studies or else. So they're trying to make me declare a major, and I'm not okay with that. I want to continue to take single classes like I have been. Up until this point, there was no issue with me taking single classes, and now all of a sudden, they're like trying to make me declare a major. Also, they messed up my residency. I moved to Florida. I was interested in going to college out there, which was the whole purpose of going. And I get out there and denied my residency, which I was expecting. I hadn't lived there that long. But what they hadn't told me, the fine print, they wanted me to take out over a $58,000 loan just to be able to go. I said, it ain't damning. They charge almost triple the tuition at Florida State at Jacksonville if you're an out-of-state resident. And they do that at a lot of schools, but not triple. That's wild. Okay? That's wild. So I said, screw it. My AC had broke like 6 months after that. And so I had to come back to North Carolina. Well, I own a house here. So I said, I'll move back into my house. We see how well that went. But when I went to apply for school, so I did two. So I came back, I enrolled in school. I took 2 classes just to see if I could make it through the class load of 2 classes at this university. It's a community college. And everything went well. I actually aced both of my classes, aced them, which was huge for me because I was under a lot of stress and I was homeless then. I was homeless going to school, you know? It was a lot. It was a whole lot. And when I got my testing back, my scores back, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was genuinely shocked that just applying myself a little bit had huge results for my own life. Like, just a bit I applied myself. There's no telling what I could do if I had the money to pay all of my bills and focus on school, which is what I want to do and what I'm going to do one way, whether or not everybody else in society is on board or not. I'm getting my degree. So, and it ain't going to be no $60,000 to do so. I refuse to be part of the problem. But anyways, I do a semester. And then I go to sign up for my next semester. I go to pick out more classes to sign up for the following semester. And they stop me. I go to pick out more classes to sign up for the following semester. And they stop me at the gate and say, your residency has been, and plead my case. I'm like, I'm a North Carolina resident. I've lived here my whole. So they initially denied my residency in North Carolina, even though I never registered anywhere else. Yeah, I looked at classes. I talked to the schools in Florida, but I never switched my residency. It took months. So now I'm good to go. Now I have my financial aid. Now I got everything I need. It's just being able to pay my bills and being able to get in that headspace and focus on school, because it's a full-time job. It absolutely is. People don't understand. Like, it's one thing if you're just getting out of high school and you're going into college. I think that